Do you assume that forgetfulness is an inevitable part of aging? No, I used to believe that until I came across a 1-minute technique that has older adults reasoning with a clarity greater than that of many young people. Greetings, I am Dr. Lucy. For 3 decades as a neurologist, I have guided older adults to preserve a lucid, powerful, and dynamic mind, without the date on their birth calendar being an impediment. Let me ask you something. Has it happened to you that you arrive in a room not knowing what you were going to look for, or have you tried to remember the name of a lifelong acquaintance and your mind goes blank? Have you noticed that you have clear ideas in your mind, but you find it hard to articulate them? Believe me, you are not the only one.
I hear similar stories daily in my office. For years, I myself thought that these lapses were a natural consequence of the passage of time. But then I began to notice a different pattern. Adults of 70, 80, and even 90 years old who not only maintained an incredibly sharp memory but also moved with poise, communicated fluently, and recalled childhood anecdotes in full detail. The key to their vitality was not a revolutionary drug, nor an expensive treatment. It was a simple, daily routine, a series of simple gestures that activate brain areas we usually neglect. They are movements that anyone can perform, even while sitting in a chair without any effort, without any danger, and without needing special equipment. You don't even have to stand up. In this neurohealing video, I will reveal that sequence to you. They are 5 brief practices that stimulate the most crucial areas of your brain: memory, focus, balance, and clarity of thought. And if you stay with me until the end, I will teach you how to combine them into a complete routine of only 1 minute a day, just 1 minute. But it is a minute that could give you back 20 years of mental agility, because your mind is always ready for a new awakening. The general belief is that memory loss appears suddenly, as if one day upon waking you realize you no longer retain names or tasks. But the reality is that cognitive decline is a gradual and silent process that usually goes unnoticed until it is in a very advanced stage. It manifests with small signs. It is hard for you to find the right word. You forget the reason why you went to another room. Do you get lost in the middle of a long conversation, or do you notice that your thinking is not as quick as it used to be? Perhaps you justify it by stress, exhaustion, or lack of good rest, but it is your brain sending you messages of fatigue with the years. If there is no proper stimulus, certain regions of the brain begin to lose connection. The hippocampus, the manager of memory, becomes slower. The cerebellum, key for balance, weakens and cerebral blood flow is reduced. It is like a flower lacking irrigation. It does not perish instantly, but its petals begin to wither slowly from the inside. The great news is that just as that flower can revive with water, our brain can also be reactivated. The only thing it requires is a concrete and regular stimulus, and it is not about long hours of exercises nor complicated methods, only 1 minute of your day. Exercise 1, movement of the toes. It may sound curious to begin with the feet to enhance memory, but this practice has a very solid neurological foundation. The toes connect directly with the cerebellum, the brain area that not only manages balance and coordination, but also cognitive processes as important as attention. By moving them deliberately, neural circuits that had been unused for years are reactivated. It is like pressing a switch you had forgotten, and the effects, although they may sound incredible, are validated both by science and by real testimonies. One of my patients is Mr. Carlos Rojas, a 75-year-old gentleman from Madrid. When I met him, it was very difficult for him to use the stairs in his home. He walked with insecurity and preferred not to go out for fear of a possible fall. His legs were strong. The problem was the disconnection between his brain and the rest of his body. I suggested a simple task: move his toes for 1 minute each day. Upon hearing it, he was skeptical. "Moving my feet will help me remember better?" he asked me with a smile. However, he agreed to try it. The exercise is like this: sitting comfortably, raise the toes of both feet at the same time and hold them up for 5 seconds. Then lower them and press firmly against the floor for another 5 seconds. Then, with the tips of the toes, make a massage on the floor for 10 seconds. To finish, open and close the toes repeatedly for another 10 seconds. In total, this adds up to 30 seconds. By repeating it twice, you complete the minute. After 15 days, Mr. Rojas returned to see me. "Doctor," he said, "now I feel my steps are more secure. I no longer look so much for something to hold on to, and most notably, my mind feels clearer, as if someone had turned on a light in my head." A study from the University of Tokyo corroborated my patient's experience. Older adults who followed this practice for 3 weeks showed notable improvements in their balance, coordination, and also in their memory capacity compared to those who did not do it. It is a very simple gesture, but with great reach. You do not need a gym, sportswear, or to make a great effort. You only need 1 minute and your own feet, because sometimes the path to your mind begins from the base. Exercise 2, gentle rotation of the neck. The second exercise is of great importance since it focuses on a problem we often ignore: poor circulation to the brain. If blood does not irrigate correctly, the oxygen and vital nutrients for the brain do not arrive in the necessary amounts. And what is the direct consequence of this? A slower and cloudier mind.
What many do not know is that the neck is a vital bridge that connects our body with the brain. If this bridge contracts or becomes stiff due to stress or poor posture, blood flow is reduced. It is as if you bent a garden hose. The flow of water is interrupted and no longer flows freely. This exercise was created precisely to release the tension of that bridge. It is practiced seated, with the back straight and shoulders relaxed. You just need to slowly turn your head to your right up to a comfortable point, without generating tension. Return to the center and repeat to the left. Then lift your chin as if you wanted to look at the ceiling and hold the posture for a few seconds. Finally, tilt your head down, bringing the chin toward the chest very gently. Performed calmly, this cycle lasts only 30 seconds. If you practice it twice, you will be giving your brain a full minute of renewed blood flow, and the results are perceived very soon. You will experience greater mental clarity, less feeling of cloudiness, and superior agility to process ideas and to remember. It is a simple movement, but when done with full awareness, it transforms into a powerful tool to unleash the full potential of your mind. Exercise 3. Conscious movement of the tongue. This third exercise is without a doubt one of the most fascinating. And although at first it may seem somewhat peculiar to you, its effectiveness has been proven in various scientific investigations and in daily practice with patients. It consists of moving the tongue in a very specific way to activate the areas of the brain in charge of language, verbal memory, and mental quickness. And why is it so effective? Because the tongue has thousands of nerve endings. These connect directly to the brain. Each intentional movement of the tongue sends powerful stimuli to the area that manages our ability to speak, to understand, and to remember information. It is almost like an internal massage that manages to awaken zones that were inactive. The exercise is very simple, but it requires your attention. Sit with your back straight and your mouth slightly open. Stick out your tongue as far as you can and hold it out for a few seconds. Then move it to your right side as if trying to touch your cheek, and then repeat the gesture to the left side. Next, press your tongue firmly against your palate for several seconds, alternating between tension and relaxation. To finish, make your tongue spin in circles inside your mouth. First one way, and then the other. Altogether, this entire sequence of movements will take you about 30 seconds. If you repeat it twice, you will have completed your 1-minute practice. This exercise is of great help for people who feel that words get stuck, who struggle to find the exact term when speaking, or who forget names, dates, and other important data. It is also ideal for those who feel they have many ideas in their mind but are not able to verbalize them with the fluency they would like. It is not an esoteric technique nor a trick without foundation. It is neurostimulation in its purest form. Moving the tongue in this way helps you improve articulation, the clarity of your thoughts, and the ability to recall memories. And best of all, you can do it right this very moment, no matter where you are. You do not need any equipment, only your concentration and your will to reactivate your mind. Exercise 4. Ear massage. This practice may sound unusual at first, but its effect is truly profound. Very few people are aware that the ears are not only used for hearing. In their internal structure resides one of the most crucial systems for our balance, our spatial orientation, and our general state of alertness. But that is not all. The ears are connected with a central section of the brain that is responsible for regulating our stability, both physically and mentally, the brainstem. When this area receives the proper stimulus, the changes become evident, coordination improves, dizziness is reduced, hearing becomes sharper, and most notably, the mind feels much clearer. What before seemed like clumsiness or simple mental fatigue often originates in a disconnection of this zone, and the response may be as simple as giving yourself a gentle massage in the ears. The exercise is done seated and relaxed. Hold both ears with your hands. First, gently pull them upward and hold the position for a few seconds. Then repeat this same movement, but now sideways with delicacy, and afterwards do the same downward. To finish, massage them by making small circular movements, as if you were tracing a circle with your fingertips around the entire ear. This simple gesture reactivates the balance receptors, optimizes circulation in the area, and produces an almost immediate sensation of well-being and relief. In just 30 seconds, you can notice how your ears warm up, your face relaxes completely, and your mind begins to feel much clearer. If you do it twice a day, its benefits are enhanced. This has nothing improvised or mystical. Clinical studies have confirmed that this practice significantly improves the function of the vestibular system and the processing of sounds, two vital elements for preventing falls, sensory disconnection, and mental confusion, especially in older adults. If you have ever felt that you stagger when standing up, or that you walk with some instability, or that you need to hold on to something to feel secure, this exercise is ideal for you. But even if you do not have obvious symptoms, doing it preventively helps strengthen the communication channels that exist between your body and your brain. Exercise 5. Integrated 1-minute routine. This last exercise is by far the most powerful of all. And the best thing is that you do not need to do everything separately. You have the option of joining the 5 exercises into a single sequence that is simple, very practical, and highly effective. And it will only take you exactly 1 minute of your day. This combination is like conducting a symphony orchestra. You could have fantastic musicians playing individually, but only when they all come together does the melody become something magical. The brain works the same way. When different areas are activated simultaneously, the connections between them strengthen, circulation is optimized, and the mind lights up completely. I want to tell you about the case of Mrs. Elena Soto, an 80-year-old woman from Seville. The first time I saw her, her memory was quite affected. She expressed herself slowly, walked with difficulty, could not find words, and could hardly move her neck. She presented all the symptoms together. She looked at me skeptically and asked, "Doctor, do I really have to do all that? It seems very complex to me." I completely understand her. 5 different exercises can sound like something overwhelming. But when I showed her how she could merge them into a single minute, seated and effortlessly, her expression changed. She started with some reluctance but gave herself the opportunity. I taught her the complete routine, step by step. Seated, she began to move her toes up and down while turning her neck from side to side. Then she opened and closed her toes while moving her neck up and down. Afterwards, she stuck out her tongue while gently stretching her ears upward. She moved her tongue side to side while stretching her ears outward. She pressed her tongue against her palate while pulling her ears downward, and finally she rotated her tongue inside her mouth while giving herself a circular massage on her ears. She did it all calmly, without rushing. Just 1 minute. 3 weeks later, she returned to the consultation. She entered with a firm step and speaking fluently. She had a smile I had never seen on her. She told me, "Doctor, you are not going to believe it. Yesterday I remembered the phone number of a friend I had not seen in more than 20 years. That is the power of activating your brain in an integral way, because when you stimulate it completely, the body reacts, memory lights up, and life is perceived with much greater clarity. Now that you know what the 5 exercises are and how to unite them in a 1-minute routine, I want to reveal to you 3 secrets that will make the effects manifest faster and with greater intensity. The first secret is something very basic. Drink a glass of water right before starting. Perhaps you don't know this, but 80% of our brain's composition is water. When we stay well hydrated, the connections between neurons work better, circulation is more fluid, and the benefits of this routine are enhanced. A simple glass of water a few minutes before may be the key to a great change. The second secret is to breathe deeply while performing the movements. Inhale slowly through your nose and exhale gently through your mouth. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system, helps reduce anxiety, and carries more oxygen to your brain. This type of breathing not only relaxes you, but literally reactivates brain areas that were in a latent state. It is as if you were opening a window in a closed room to let in fresh air. And the third secret is to perform the routine while listening to soft music that you enjoy. It could be piano, guitar, or simply the sounds of nature. Music is capable of activating brain areas associated with pleasure, motivation, and also memory. Doing these exercises in a pleasant environment turns that minute into an experience of complete well-being. But as crucial as knowing what to do is knowing what not to do. There are 3 very common mistakes that can limit your progress. The first is doing the exercises too quickly, as if it were just another obligation you must get through. Always remember that your brain needs calm. If you rush, the effect is reduced. You might even feel a slight dizziness. The second mistake is forcing your body to the point of pain. It is not necessary. These movements are not designed to require strain. If you notice any discomfort, it is better to stop. Learn to listen to your body and treat it with kindness. And the third mistake is lack of perseverance. Many try it once, feel good, and then abandon it. But the brain thrives on routine. If you do it daily, even if only for 1 minute, the changes will build up. Your memory will grow stronger, your mind will gain clarity, and your body will regain its balance. Today, you have discovered a very powerful routine, simple and within everyone's reach, regardless of age. 5 movements that reactivate key areas of your brain. The toes for balance, the neck for circulation, the tongue for language and memory, and the ears for concentration and stability. And the integrated routine that fuses it all and multiplies its benefits. Perhaps while doing them with me, you have already noticed something, a slight sensation in your feet, relief in your neck, or a sudden clarity in the midst of your thoughts. It is not just a coincidence. It is your own body responding. It is your brain telling you, I am still here. I still have potential. Why not try it? It is never too late. No matter your age, whether 60, 70, 80 years or more, your mind is still beating. Your brain has the capacity to renew itself, and the only thing it asks in return is that you give it that chance. Just 1 minute of your day is all it takes. You don't need costly medications, exhausting routines, or promises that never come true. You only need 2 things, the desire to take the first step and the discipline to continue. If you have reached this point, you already possess a tool of immense value, and if you choose to use it, I guarantee that in just a few weeks you will notice a real change. And not only you, those around you will notice it too. They will see your vitality, your confidence, your way of expressing yourself and moving. They will see a renewed version of you. If this neuroailing video has been helpful to you, share it with someone who needs it, with that friend who complains about a tired mind, with that sister who always forgets where she put her keys. because we all deserve to reach old age with lucidity and full dignity. And if you decide to start today, I would like you to come back in 3 weeks and tell me how it went. I want to read in the comments what has changed for you, because your own story may become the inspiration for someone else. Thank you for your time. Thank you for gifting yourself these minutes. And don't forget, your brain does not give up.